So it was, you said it was Eisenhower made a deal with them?
Yep. Yeah, I think it was 1954, I think, when he signed off on that. I mean, it's so wild, it's almost unbelievable, but I've heard it enough to think there must be something to it, and I read about the thing on YouTube, the Greada Accords, and it's an official looking government document.
Yeah, when this was all going on, I mean, you talk about it like it was fairly well known. It was.
Well, it was really wasn't well known. I'd never heard of it until I got in the military, and then what little I'd hear about it, you was always told to shut up and don't even ask about it. And I saw that both at Vandenberg and McGill.
But then the deal was, you said Eisenhower had with the Greys that it was they could take so many people, but just
that and cattle. They could. I don't know what the limitation on the cattle were, but you hear a lot of them about where they take the eyes and tongue out of them and reproductive organs out of livestock, and they're into that pretty strong, I guess. But the people, they had to be returned unharmed, and they had to have the memory wiped out. Well, after 20 years or so, and your brain starts breaking down a little bit, where your subconscious can be leaking over into memory part, which is through natural aging, people start getting and of course they can do hypnosis, and a good hypnosis, people can get into your subconscious pretty good. They're finding out a lot more stuff now. But they call it the Greada Accords.
And you said they could take X amount of people and
a certain number, but the Greys got to taking more than they're supposed to. Of course, there's more than Greys out there. There's a whole bunch of different. It's like regular people down here. There's quite a few different. I guess you can't say nationalities, but meta universes of people. They got like the reptilians, they got the Greys, they got the Nordics, they got something blue or blue somethings out there. There's quite a few different kinds, I guess.
And in exchange for making that deal with them, we could have some of their technology.
Yep.
You said. I mean, aside from that, Hangar 18 in Ohio, I mean, when you was in the Air Force, other than you said guys would tell you to be quiet about it?
Yeah, and they don't even ask about it.
But so otherwise, like, you never saw any evidence, or this is just stuff that was spoken about and tried to be brushed underneath the rug.
But they have Area 51 where they had a lot of stuff go on. Area 52. Then there's a place called, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, DELUCE or something like that. That's a bunch of underground stuff there, I guess. Hi, little man. He looks pretty relaxed now.
Oh yeah, he likes his baths.
Yeah.
No, I know there's been some odd things out there. You brought up an interesting topic. I was curious.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to add to Any topic like that, or anything you seen or experienced or was told?
Oh, let's see. I heard a lot of wild, when I was at MacDill, of course in Tampa, Florida there, you hear a lot of wild stories about the Bermuda Triangle. Now, I knew this guy. I knew him fairly well. He was in the Navy, but he was at MacDill there, and that was the Air Force base. But he actually swore that not only him, but the guys with him, they were on this ship out there, and they could see other ships out there, and the radar wouldn't pick it up. Well, usually radar will pick up stuff you can't even see. I mean, that's just the nature of the stuff, the way it works. It hits something out there, and it'll bounce back, you know, and you've got things that will amplify the bounce back signal. It'll show up as a little spot on your scope. And he said, you could see these boats out there, and got your radar turned on, and it had been checked out good, and they wouldn't even show up. You ever heard of a town called Delphos, Kansas?
Mm-mm.
DELPHOS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Gosh, it was what, 1970, I guess there was a saucer landed there, and no abductions or anything like that, but the spot where they landed at, you know, it was really highly radioactive, for years afterwards, and nothing would grow there, and but this kid was working out in the barnyard there, and he ran the house to get his folks, and when they come out, the thing was taken off again. And they called the sheriff come out there, and I guess they called the Air Force. And the Air Force tried to say it was like swamp gas or something, or, you know, 'cause they were still in denial in those days. But it was really radioactive. Stuff wouldn't grow there for years where that thing landed. And before it always had.
Where's that town by? It's up. Yeah,
It's up in the north part somewhere.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a very big town.
It's a small place. Yeah.
It's a spot in the road, really. It
So
may-
point being, any time when this came up in the past, in the 50s or 60s, you know, it was all denied and you weren't supposed to talk about it.
Well, yeah. Well, it's mainly started off in. Well, I guess you know it had been spotted forever, even in ancient times, but it really got kicked off in Roswell, New Mexico, in 1947.
47, yeah.
And there's all these people saw this thing scattered out over so many miles, all this junk. And then the Air Force come in there first said that we got down saucer here. Next day they said, no, that was a weather balloon, what that was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, and he still stuck to that story. Well, everybody knows it wasn't, but
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, everybody knows about Roswell and that cover up, but it surprised me when you started talking about other places that were.
and now Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. Okay, you've been in Pennsylvania. Have you ever heard of a town called Kecksburg?
Kecksburg? Like,
K-E something, Kecksburg. It's a small place. This was back in the 90s when this happened. It looked like a meteorite hit the ground. People rushed to it and saw that it was really a metal object with strange writing on it, stuff like that. Before they could get too inquisitive, the army came in there, ran everybody off, and put that stuff on trucks, put the tarps over it, hauled it all out of there. And of course it turned out to be a real hot place with radioactive stuff. It's and that was back in the 90s when that happened, I think.
Kecksburg. No, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah.
Well, that Grenada thing you mentioned in '54, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit of a history buff.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was even documented that a president had made a deal with the Greys.
Well, the thing of it is, I can't even remember the reason Eisenhower went out there, but when he disappeared for 2 days, they said he had to have an emergency tooth work done for him, on him, and that's what the story was, but it's when the Grenada Accords was signed was the day that he was gone getting his tooth worked on, and he was out of sight. But you couldn't even ask about it in the service without being told, there's nothing to it, just drop it.
That's no surprise. Well, thanks for saying that, Grandpa. It's really interesting. Raymond Peterson, October 1st, 2022.